Now at 5, Missouri utility customers have to wait even longer as regulators delay the Liberty investigation for a third time. Plus, former Hopkins employees get a second chance at a Miami hiring event after their plant suddenly shuts down. And
lawmakers grill Bill Clinton on his ties to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein during a closed-door deposition. I'm Torian Small in Washington. What the former president has to say about his testimony.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Missouri utility customers face another delay as state regulators push back their investigation deadline for a third time. This is KOAM News. I'm Tanya Bach. The Missouri Public Service Commission has extended its investigation deadline for Liberty Utilities to March 6th. KOAM's Kenny Foreman joins us in studio to explain what this means for consumers.
Thanks, Tanya. Missouri utility customers must wait at least another week from answers from state regulators. The utility investigation probe began 1 year ago today after customers complained about billing and service problems. Commission staff have issued 22 additional data requests since September and continue monthly meetings with Liberty officials. The commission originally planned to complete its report by September 30th. The deadline was moved to December, then to today's date, February 27th. Staff say they could not meet the February deadline due to continued discovery and other business. The investigation covers Liberty's electric, gas, and water utilities throughout Missouri. Back to you, Tanya.
All right, thanks, Kenny. Well, meteorologist Austin Stance joins us now with a first look at weather.
Yeah, thanks, Tanya. Hey, take a look at these temperatures out there right now. Still in the 70s today. Now, didn't quite get to that record. That was 83 degrees today. So still far from that, but 77 Miami, same for Oswego, Parsons at 78, 74 Joplin. My goodness, is it mild out there. Now, even as we head into the later evening hours tonight, temperatures are going to cool down a bit, but still near 60 degrees there by 10 o'clock. Not bad. Heading into our Saturday, though, things are going to become a little bit breezy out there. We're going to see winds pick up, gusting anywhere from 20 to 25 miles per hour at times. Now, taking a look at rain chances over the next 5 days, pretty widespread here. And we're going to be tracking that, especially as we head into next week, mostly on Sunday and then lingering into Monday and Tuesday. We're timing it all out coming up.
All right, thanks, Austin. Miami residents are getting help finding new work today after the sudden closure of Hopkins Manufacturing left more than 80 people without jobs. The Oklahoma Employment Security Commission and city partners hosted an all-industry hiring event at the Miami Civic Center from 10 to 2 today. 19 area employers were on site talking with job candidates, and 5 additional companies that did not attend left information. Former Hopkins employees say they appreciate the community coming together to help them find new opportunities.
It's wholesome. It definitely makes warms my heart up because it shows that even in times like this, we can come together and help each other out, make sure we're all well supported and everything.
The plant closed after federal prosecutors charged the owners of parent company First Brands Group with multi-billion-dollar fraud. In southwest Missouri, a midnight phone call changed everything for Anthony Jones. As a fire last July at the Lamar O'Sullivan building destroyed $7 million in family business assets. His family business, Jones Boots and Jones Twine and Net Wrap, had over 80% of product in that warehouse. But as CEO, Jones says he refuses to let his legacy die. He's continuing the family company that started in 1974 with a new warehousing center near Carthage.
We actually got to keep our entire team together, and now we're just a little further drive away than Lamar. But not only our team is here, with the opportunity that these larger warehouses brought to the table, now we don't just have a warehousing company for what we're building, we have a warehousing opportunity even for everyone in the area if they need a great warehousing partner.
Jones, like he said, is also opening his doors to other companies facing warehouse shortages. Former President Bill Clinton testified that he did nothing wrong as he faced questions today from congressional lawmakers about his relationship with the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Torian Small is on Capitol Hill with the latest.
A motorcade believed to be former President Bill Clinton's arrived at the Chappaqua Performing Arts Center Friday. Inside, he told the House Oversight Committee that he, quote, saw nothing and did nothing wrong in connection with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
President Clinton, as of right now, is cooperative and answering all of our questions.
In a prepared opening statement, Clinton said, as someone who grew up in a home with domestic abuse, not only would I not have flown on his plane if I had any inkling of what he was doing, I would have turned him in myself and led the call for justice for his crimes, not sweetheart deals. This is the first time a former president was forced to testify before Congress under subpoena. This comes after he and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton were threatened with contempt charges.
No one's accusing anyone of any wrongdoing, but I think the American people have a lot of questions.
In his prepared remarks, the former president, who appears in multiple photos in the Epstein files, also slammed the committee for dragging his wife into the investigation. She testified Thursday.
I don't know how many times I had to say I did not know Jeffrey Epstein.
Democrats on the committee want President Trump to testify.
This is not a hoax. He has not been exonerated, and we have serious questions for President Trump.
There are also bipartisan calls to hear from Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick. A photo shows him in the blue shirt and several others on Epstein's island. Lutnick has not been accused of any wrongdoing. Torian Small, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Well, during a break in the hearing, committee chair James Comer came outside to note that during the questioning, former President Clinton testified that, quote, he's never seen anything to make him think President Trump was involved with Jeffrey Epstein. Still ahead, the Pentagon threatens an AI company. Anthropic is refusing military demands and could lose government contracts or face technology seizure. But first in Health Watch, parents refuse to let a rare diagnosis define their son's future. Topping today's Health Watch, 4-year-old Jackson Roberts cannot smile because of a rare neurological disorder. Moebius syndrome affects only 1 in 4 million people. Stephanie Stahl has the story of a family proving that joy doesn't always need a smile.
Do your gentle smile. Yay! Nice. That's his silly smile.
4-year-old Jackson Roberts isn't able to smile on his own because of a condition called Moebius syndrome.
It's a neurological disorder. It's a paralysis of the face. People with Moebius syndrome have difficulty blinking, sucking, swallowing, breathing, eating, and even speaking.
His parents, Trish and Chris, say when Jackson was born, even the doctors were stumped.
They weren't sure if he was ever going to walk or talk or anything like that.
We didn't even know if we were ever bringing him home. And here we are, almost 5 years into Jackson's journey, and we believe and we've learned that miracles do happen, and to keep the faith and don't let a diagnosis define who you are.
Oh, no. Jackson has spent years in physical and occupational therapy and is happy to play with his big sister and sing and dance to his favorite song.
We've had some specialists around the world tell us that he is a medical mystery.
Doctors don't know what causes the syndrome that has no treatment. And because it's so rare, 1 in 4 million, there's very little research. That's what the Roberts are hoping to change by raising awareness.
This is Jackson's I Smile with My Heart t-shirt. It's been unreal. It's so overwhelming. It's so humbling.
How old are you going to be? 5 years old?
Yeah.
For his upcoming birthday, there are cookies to celebrate.
These are delicious.
Cheers.
Cheers to the cookies and cheers to you.
For Jackson, there might not be a smile, but there's plenty of joy. Stephanie Stahl, CBS News, Philadelphia.
A moment of nature can have real benefits for the brain. Researchers at McGill University looked at more than 100 brain imaging studies and found exposure to nature, even a couple minutes walking in a park, can provide a mental reset. Data shows time outdoors lets stress systems settle, quiets mental rumination, and helps restore attention. Researchers also say time in nature encourages people to take better care of Mother Earth. Well, there's new clarity on how smoking can speed up aging in the human eye. Johns Hopkins researchers found that smoke exposure changes how retinal cells behave at the genetic level, mimicking age-related vision loss. This may explain why smokers are roughly 4 times more likely to develop age-related macular degeneration. That's a look at today's health news. Coming up, the Defense Department considers an AI company a supply chain risk. We'll explain why.
And while the first half of our weekend looks enjoyable, I'm tracking a soggy end of the weekend. Details coming up.
Here's your Skywatch weather forecast from the trusted Roper Kia Weather Center.
Well, it is weather time here in the 4 states area. Check out those skies right now. Not a cloud to be found out there right now. So we got some high pressure set up in the area right now. That's going to keep us clear as we head through most of the evening tonight and into tomorrow, but we'll get a few clouds tomorrow, but not much. So that's good news. Check out these temperatures though. My goodness. Look at all this warm air coming in from the southwest here. 78 degrees, Neodesha, 77 Miami, 78 Welch and Veneta. Anderson sitting at 74. Carthage, you are at 74 as well. Nevada at 76. Joplin, 74. Now, planning your evening for tonight and what you can expect. 72 by 6 o'clock. My goodness, isn't that mild? 8, we're at 67. By 10 o'clock, we're down to 61. We'll fall to a comfortable 50 degrees tonight. Winds out of the southwest, 5 to 10 miles per hour. As I mentioned, just a few clouds moving in tonight as we head into those overnight hours. Most of us have a clear evening. Off to the north, maybe just a few clouds, an isolated drizzle or two, can't be completely ruled out. You saw there as we're moving through, a boundary is going to pass through, not a full front, just a boundary. It's going to change our wind direction slightly, but we're also going to see the potential for a few scattered, isolated showers. Nothing that's going to accumulate or put a damper on those weekend plans. Check out these temperatures. We're going to actually be riding a temperature gradient, so there's going to be variations in temperatures, and depending on when that boundary moves through and when those wind directions change will determine where temperatures really land. But look at Yates Center, 69 by 4 o'clock there, 78 in Chanute, so a big variation there. So we're watching that. We could see temperatures be near record high, or we could just be near the lower 70s there. So we're really just going to be watching the timing for that boundary to push through. But what is likely is that we're going to see 70 degrees on Saturday, likely into the mid 70s, but potentially even upper 70s. It'll just depend slightly on that timing. Now, heading into Saturday night by 10 o'clock, still pretty mild in the 40s, but look at this widespread cloud cover heading into Sunday morning. Now, models not doing a great job of picking up on these showers moving in, right? Here we are Sunday, 6 p.m. Not seeing much. Things becoming more widespread heading into the morning hours. So it's the models are having a hard time picking up on the timing of this. What I'm expecting to happen here is that as we head into Sunday evening, we're going to start to see some widespread shower development. What tells us that is that we're seeing widespread cloud cover, but also relative humidity is at 100% at this point, which means it's overflowing. Moisture is overflowing, which means that it would be falling from the sky down as precipitation. So we are likely to see some rainfall there. How much rainfall? We'll check this out. This is another indicator that we're going to see rain during Sunday evening because this only goes through Monday morning. Check this out. 1.5 Lamar, half an inch in Chanute. Everybody going to get in on the rainfall, and it's going to be a soggy end to the weekend for sure. Warm and breezy tomorrow. Winds do pick up near 20, 25 miles per hour, 76 degrees. Cooler, 54, rainy on Sunday. We got showers lingering into Monday and Tuesday. Then we're going to be dealing with thunderstorms. Tanya, I'm tracking 4 systems before we even hit the middle of March. Precipitation is likely to be well above average for the month of March.
And it's amazing how much those temperatures drop with those cooler, the rains and stuff coming in.
Yeah, we could definitely use the rain, though. Drought conditions should really start to be affected in a good way heading into the middle of March.
And we will keep an eye on them. All right, thanks, Austin. Well, coming up, Anthropic refuses Pentagon demands for unrestricted access to powerful AI. Topping today's Consumer Watch, the Pittsburgh Area Chamber of Commerce hosted a special chamber coffee this morning with KOAM's own Chris Warner emceeing the event. This year's Biz Expo theme is Stars, Stripes, and Success, celebrating both the 250th birthday of the United States and the 150th anniversary of the city of Pittsburgh. The expo gives local businesses a chance to showcase what they offer the community.
this year, this is our second year of doing a one-day only event. Typically we have it Friday and Saturday, but we saw the crowds were really coming out on Saturday, so we're focusing on that day and using Friday for our coffee. So we have new vendors this year. About half of the ones are new, so we're excited to offer some more variety to the community.
The expo runs from 10 to 4 on Saturday. Well, good news for home buyers. Mortgage rates dipped below 6% this week for the first time since 2022. Freddie Mac says the average 30-year fixed-rate mortgage rate fell to 5.98% from 6.01% last week. Rates have been on a steady decline since the Federal Reserve began slashing its benchmark interest rate in 2024. More layoffs in the tech world. Jack Dorsey's financial tech company Block will cut 40% of its workforce, over 4,000 jobs, as it leans more on artificial intelligence. Block owns Cash App, Tidal, and Afterpay. Meanwhile, eBay is slashing 6% of its global staff, about 800 jobs, as part of a restructuring. And a major showdown is brewing between the Pentagon and Anthropic over artificial intelligence. The military demands unrestricted access to the company's powerful AI technology, but Anthropic says no. Jolene Kent has the story of a standoff with national security implications.
Hours away from the deadline, Anthropic and the Pentagon are locked in a standoff over access to the company's powerful artificial intelligence.
You can't put the rules and the policies of the United States military and the government in the hands of one private company.
On Thursday, Undersecretary of Defense Emil Michael told CBS News the military has now offered Anthropic concessions.
We will put it in writing that we're specifically acknowledging that these laws exist for the privacy of Americans. We're specifically acknowledging these policies that have been in place for years at the Pentagon regarding autonomous weapons.
If Anthropic doesn't comply, the Pentagon says it will revoke the company's government contracts, labeling them a supply chain risk, or seize use of the technology under the Defense Production Act. Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei responded Thursday, denying concessions were offered, saying these threats do not change our position. We cannot in good conscience accede to their request. The conflict stems from the Pentagon wanting unrestricted access to Anthropic's AI. The tipping point came after the capture of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro in January, when the U.S. military ran the operation with the help of Anthropic's Claude. Anthropic wants to maintain restrictions that will not allow the military to enable mass surveillance of Americans or AI-enabled autonomous weapons without human involvement. Amodei has repeatedly warned about the potential dangers that AI poses, especially when abused.
I am concerned that AI may be uniquely well suited to autocracy and to deepening the repression that we see in autocracies.
This is something that's much bigger than the Industrial Revolution. This is bigger than the invention of nuclear weapons.
Jeffrey Laddish used to do work for Anthropic.
I think it's reasonable for the government to be concerned about companies sort of getting to dictate the terms of the most powerful technology that humans have ever invented. At the same time, I think it's very reasonable for companies to be very concerned with what governments might do with this technology.
Jolene Kent, CBS News, San Francisco.
Final check of the forecast is next. Coming up on KOAM News at 6, how one four-state family business is rising from the ashes. Plus, a local organization removes cost barriers for essential eye care services. And we meet a referee who keeps showing up despite a unique challenge, why she's still in the game. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. But first, a final look at weather.
Yeah, we got some wet conditions coming up. This is the next 6 to 10 days. Climate Prediction Center has us well above average, that dark shade of green here. Tracking 4 systems in the month of March before we hit the middle of the month. So that's technically a system almost every 2 days. So we're going to have a wet start to the month and maybe even some colder temperatures by the end of the middle, or by the 15th of March.
And my dogs are going to track everything in.
Yeah, it's going to be a little soggy out there.
All right, well, thank you for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next, and we'll be back here for KOAM News at 6, and we'll see you then. Have a great evening and an even better weekend.